So here we have Smoking Aces, a perfect example of one of those films that I saw first and fell in love with and just dug and went and saw again with you guys, and you guys just didn't enjoy.
Well, this director was definitely smoking something. I think.
Yeah, Aces. Is that what? Damn it, Aces. Is that what they call it these days?
Actually, I think he was smoking Tarantino's dick.
No.
Tarantino writes better than this. He was smoking maybe Tony Scott's dick.
Oh,
Or Guy Ritchie's.
Guy Ritchie's, yeah.
Man,
Can we get these guys to please stop saying dick?
Dick.
How many dicks is that?
Quite a few.
Wow. Ripping off Tarantino while blaming someone else for ripping off Tarantino.
I'm just waiting to see if y'all out of dick now.
If there's one thing this room never runs out of, it's dicks.
That's true.
I tell you, man. Look, again, it's not that I dislike this movie. I tell you what what's wrong with this movie. It's just too derivative of a lot of stuff we've seen before. And keep in mind, I don't mind these kind of Tarantino, Guy Ritchie knockoffs like Snatch. I thought it was a really good movie. Shit, I even thought that movie, Running Scared, was pretty cool.
I thought Running Scared was awesome.
Yeah, but this movie I think is a little bit too long, and I don't like any of these characters at all.
That's the biggest flaw of this movie, really. There's a lot of characters to cover in this film. I mean, it's a giant bunch of hitmen all trying to take out the same guy and a couple FBI guys. The problem is, the dialogue's not terribly snappy, so even though everybody in the movie is kind of a scumbag or they're just kind of nondescript, they're not that likable scumbag or likable cop. You know, it's not like there's no real good dialogue to make you go, oh, that guy's funny, even though he's an asshole, I like him. So there's no real depth given to anybody, and when they're killing each other off, who cares?
I'm going to let you go last because I want to hear your opinion on this, because I think all three of us on the same sheet of paper here.
It appears that way.
You're right. There's no Samuel Jackson, quoting the Bible, saying things that you remember like, man, that guy's cool. You watch this, it's like, yeah, they're all scumbags and, they're after like a main scumbag. Jeremy Piven is just so unlikable. I mean, everybody is, but you just don't care. To me, one of the biggest problems with this movie, besides having no snappy, memorable dialogue, is that, okay, you described it as a movie where there's a mob informant and everybody wants to kill him. Say that in like 3 sentences. Mm-hmm. This movie takes almost 30 minutes, or it feels like 30 minutes, to set up everything. It's exposition. On this grand setup, everything plays out. Then there's even more to explain everything that happened in the end.
Yeah.
Now, personally, I love the hell out of this thing. This thing is right up my alley, though. This movie was made for me. I enjoy the fact that the characters are treated the way they are, because it's a mishmash of really cool personalities all thrown together in this really messed up situation. It's essentially the last 20 minutes of True Romance set at the pace of 100 minutes. That's what this film is. If you enjoy that, like I do, I found it a lot of fun. I found it refreshing, but I never found it deep. I never found it insightful. This certainly isn't The Departed, or more to the point of Joe Carnahan, the director. This isn't Narc, his previous film. No, this is him having a really good time and killing as many people as humanly possible over the course of an hour and a half. And that's what I enjoyed. It was just a good, fun, loud ride.
Well, tell him to get an Xbox. Tell him you don't have to make a movie about killing people like this, because it really was very empty. I mean, I felt nothing.
There were some nice set pieces. I'll give him that. There were some points that you went, okay, that was cool. It's just, I wish it had been cool with people that I cared about or people I gave a shit about. Because really, it's just like, it couldn't have been more nondescript people in there, more kind of even cliched hitmen in some ways if Juliette Lewis had been one of them. Going back to the Juliette Lewis.
Yeah. Well, I would have loved it had they made a movie about smoking that porcupine on Jeremy Piven's head, because that damn mop he had on his head. Now,
that was awesome. They even make fun of that in the movie. That was part of the fun.
Okay, so I have a question here that's kind of off the subject. Right. I'm sorry, y'all. Is my mind playing tricks on me, or was Jeremy Piven bald at one time?
Yeah, no, you know what?
Yeah.
I said the exact same thing. I remember a point when his hairline was way at the back of his ears, and I understand, these actors like to put on toupees, but it seems to be like a popular thing now, where like you see them on their off time, and like Bruce Willis sometimes, especially Billy Bob Thornton, you never see him bald anymore.
Yeah,
even when they're at a ball game, he got a toupee on. It's like, come on, dude.
Yeah, I used to think they were doing it for the art and doing it for like certain roles. No, these fools been the hair club. They got they got plugs.
Even Vin Diesel, for God's sakes.
What, he has one
that
too?
mob informant film?
Oh yeah.
or not Mob Informant, but the jury mob film he was in where he wore the hairpiece.
Find Me Guilty.
Right.
Yeah, Find Me Guilty.
Yeah, but that's just for the movie. I'm talking about you see these guys.
Oh, in real life.
Yeah, in real life, just wearing these things. Well, Jeremy Piven's going through this whole midlife crisis thing. Because every time I see him in something, he can't wait to take his shirt off. He wants to show everybody like, hey, I might be 40, but I'm working out, and I got my hair back. I'm a big star, and screw damn it, what's the guy's name?
Damn, you were on a roll too.
I know.
Adrian Grenier?
No. It was
Paul Giamatti?
his sister John Cusack. Oh yeah, and screw John Cusack. That guy's just player hating on me.
What John Cusack says something about him?
The two of them came up together. John Cusack went to the acting school that Jeremy Piven's parents started. They've been best buddies, and apparently now he's saying that now that he's gotten big with Entourage, John Cusack don't want to be his friend and is jealous of his success.
Ain't nobody jealous of him.
I don't think John Cusack's all that jealous of his success, really.
John Cusack ain't worried about him or his hair plugs. So screw him.
Or maybe Cusack's like, look at me, I'm the same age as you, and I could still get high school roles if I wanted to. So, I don't have to be working out and shit.
But he did, what was John Cusack's last film?
The Ice Harvest.
Must Love Dogs.
Well, to be fair, it might have been the toupee that said that.
Oh, well, all I know is, before the hair plugs came up, Jeremy Piven was sneaking up behind John Cusack with some clippers in his hand, like on Jackass.
Yeah, like Johnny Knoxville.
I will hand it to Piven, though, even though this was kind of a limited role, from the script, he did give it his all. There are points I was like, he's pretty damn good at the dramatic role in this. I mean, he's all crying and looking like shit. And I was pretty impressed with him in that role.
The cast definitely, I think everyone gives it their all. I just don't think I think the problem that you guys have that I'm really not having is that there isn't a whole lot of meat there for these characters. They're very much, they are very two-dimensional, and I don't think anyone can argue that.
You said it just a minute ago. It's the last 20 minutes of True Romance stretched out to an hour and a half.
Which is the problem right there. It doesn't have the beginning of True Romance where you get to know and like all these people. And even the people you don't like have mannerisms that are actually cool and different than what you've seen before. You get to like them even if you don't like them. That's not the case here.
Well, it's a very different movie. It's not trying to be True Romance. What it is it's saying we're going to take that kind of same everything goes wrong at once and everybody's fighting everybody, only we're going to show all the different people that show up and show why they're there.
Okay, now I hate to harp on a theme because it just seems like it's too easy. I'm always going for the cheap shot. But this is another movie where, you got the crazy cartoon killer Nazis coming up out of elevators, smoke, and all the white guys have guns pointed at it. But the one black guy is like, shit, I'm getting out of here. He steps away. Most of the black people live. And there's so much idiocy going on. I mean, that's another problem I have with the movie. It's like, okay, I can take some things that are implausible, but not every goddamn 10 minutes something happens where you like, come on, man.
Well, first of all, I appreciate the fact that you become the new angry black man, so y'all can get off me now, But I just think that I don't mind violence. First of all, I agree with you. Everybody in this movie, it's a great cast.
It is.
It's almost like a cast that's wasted because really these characters are just they lack so much dimension that there's really nothing for these characters to do but kill each other. And I have no problem with violence. Everybody knows that. Sex and violence is good. If you can do it at the same time, that's even better.
Nah, you beat my ass last week.
Yeah, I didn't have sex with you though.
Well, I think I see what the problem is here. Really, I find this to be a smarter version of Crank, but because it's smarter and because it's directed by, Joe Carnahan, the guy who did Narc, people expect a lot more, and that Joe Carnahan could have taken it to the level where this could have been great and not just a smarter version of Crank.
Well, see, I like Crank a whole lot more than this.
I know, but Crank was stupid. And Crank was even more implausible, but you're willing to accept that because it never tries to be anything more. And I think because this reaches a little higher, it falls short for that next level.
I don't know if it necessarily does. I think it needed to reach for more comedy is its biggest flaw, really. I mean, it's just, there's no humor in it. There's not really a lighter side. The few attempts there are just more that look how cool this is that we did this type moments.
Well, I really hate violence like this when it's not used to any effect, but obviously just to put in there because somebody thinks it's cool. I mean, it's just that really just seems very brutal to me, and it just really takes me out of the film. And I'm not one to talk, but
the violence should serve the story, generally speaking, and there just wasn't enough of a story to speak of.
And see, that's where I disagree. I thought there was just enough, but that's me.
Okay. Plus, this is one of those movies where everybody's getting killed left and right. And the only people you want to care about or anybody gives a shit about is the famous person.
Oh yeah, I mean, like there's the one officer, I won't say who, but he gets hit, and they're all like, "Hey, get a medic, officer down! We gotta save this one guy." And while this is going on, there's a chick across the way with a powerful military machine gun blowing the heads completely off all the other officers. I don't care about them. No, screw those guys. Just this one famous officer has been hit, and we got to save him.
Yeah, yeah. Were you gonna say something? No. Oh, sorry, I thought you were like leaping for the mic.
No, I'm
okay. Cargill, go ahead.
So this is my swear sequence.
Oh, let me lower your mic here.
Oh, you motherfucking cock-sucking son of a bitch, I'm gonna rip your fucking heart out and shit down your fucking hole in your neck and your, yeah!
I love you too, Cargill.
Oh, no, the whole point is that's